Yeah. Oh shit. All right.
Me.
What?
It asked me like about recording in progress, and it's got the button like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, yeah, we're still in the black, so I'm gonna transition us in real quick. Welcome back. This is Quick Sixer Podcast. I am sitting here with the boys from Anyone Can Die, and we're gonna go over their top 10 most anticipated horror movies for 2023. And I got, it's a Quick Sixer show, so of course I didn't come here without booze, even though it's 10:50 in the morning.
We're supposed to do that?
No. You can if you want. But
it's the last football game of the year. No matter if you like football or not, you're allowed to drink at 8 a.m.
That's right.
On Super Bowl Sunday.
So I'm calling this a Savini Bellini in the because it is a Bellini. But
I like that call out. I don't know if Tom Savini even drink?
TDB. Who knows? But yeah, I figured we had a quiche and Bellinis this morning for breakfast. So I was like, I'm gonna have Bellini in there, and yeah, and that's why. So anyway,
I got a pretty simple, plain.
Oh, I love that,
you guys.
Oh, I love, dude. The hazy one is the best.
Yeah.
Shout out Sierra Nevada. They're the fire.
They're pretty good. I have a lot of pumpkin beer, but I was like, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm trying to hold it a little bit later. They
sent us the entire hazy collection like last year sometime, which is pretty cool. But anyways, yeah. Nathaniel Covington, Kenny Bond, Anyone Can Die. Brittany sends her regards. Her pick for this was Renfield. I don't know where that's going to fall on your top 10. But go and check out Renfield. Shout out Adam Knitch and his to-be wife, Chelsea. They both were set decorators on that movie. And yeah, there's some horror stories from it, actual horror stories, not just the movie. But anyways, yeah. So guys, the top 10 for 2023. I don't think there's any really rules about how we should do it. I think it's like we don't even have to put them in like order if you don't want to.
Okay.
But yeah, most anticipated. Oh, and I gotta be repping.
Shocker.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so excited for it. Are you kidding me? Actually, I was thinking about listening to our episode from way back when I came over to see what I thought of what the next one was going to be. Like, I'm thinking about going back to that episode and listening to it.
We got to put, like April, 1st through the 5th, someone there has to be an episode on the new one on Anyone Can Die so that we can go ahead and do the follow-up.
Yeah. I also have coffee, too, if I'm not drunk ass.
No.
So, yeah. No, you have to have multiple beverages. I probably have a bottle of water in here, too. I don't know. TV. I don't know.
That.
What?
But also, I said, you do make sure you got the water. But
I definitely have water.
What me and Kenny both heard when you said top movie and most anticipated movies, we heard 1983. We didn't hear 2023. So I know what
I was gonna make that joke. Be like, yeah, I'm so excited to talk about my favorite movies in 1973. It's like, oh, but yeah, it's just.
I mean, we can go.
We really don't have to. It's just
know what?
Nathaniel have that same like corny streak. I guess.
Yeah.
Funny thing about it is, like, I feel like there's so many remakes. You could probably, like, if you didn't say the year or the like actual title, people will probably think it was like 70 or 83.
I got one that's not a remake.
Okay. Just one?
Or has it been done? Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Thanks, 2023. Sorry to put a damper on this already.
What do you? So in the list that you came up with, there's only one of them that's not a remake. Is that what you're telling?
Not a continuation. There's not a single like something completely original. There's no that gave me something in 2023. They're like, I don't know this guy, and he's gonna do something cool.
I've got a couple of them, and I felt like I don't even think I've finished the fucking list. So I mean, but at least I've got some that aren't that aren't continuations or reboots or whatever the fuck. Just churning these franchises, horror franchises. There's a lot of that, but I came up with like a couple of them. Do you want to start by like talking? Do you want to get Scream out of the way, or do we gonna like let you polish off your Bellini so you can really get rolling before we?
Yeah, we are. So, are you gonna hear? Are you gonna? Do you want one of us to start, or are we gonna go through each one separate, or is it kind of like I have that one too? Are you gonna throw stuff out too, Pat? What's
all
going
right,
on?
all right. Well, no. My idea is I'm coming in this as a I don't have any movie knowledge or any future knowledge of what's happening in the world. Okay. You guys are going to tell me the 10.
That was me too, like 20 minutes prior to us recording this.
So. Okay, great. So I'll be 20 minutes ago you, and you'll be 20 minutes now. You'll be the future. No. So yeah, of course my most anticipated is obviously Scream, but I don't even want to talk about it because I feel like it's going to come out and then we'll do an episode with it. So yeah, that'll be honorable mention from me. But you guys, let's go back and forth. So
well, just to keep it right there.
Nathaniel, kick it off. You do the first one and then Kenny does next.
Well, I'll go ahead and say Scream was number one, but not like number one I was anticipating. It's just the first one I wrote down because it comes out end of next month. Mm-hmm. We've done episodes on Scream.
Yep.
I look forward to whatever Kenny had to spit on it. And you know, it's just like it's gonna be fun to watch, I'm sure. I think for me, it's gonna be fun to watch because they are kind of starting from scratch. A little bit. But also everything was kind of wrapped up for me of all the stuff I really loved about Scream because they did so much for the first and second film and that, the last one. So I'm like, I can't wait to see it just for the simple fact of like, what does Kevin Williamson do right now? Like, what does he do now?
Okay. Yeah.
He has that little part. He has someone coming back in. We know because she's on the trailer or whatever. I've not watched the trailer. I just know she's in that trailer.
Yeah. 2 trailers. Samara Weaving is going to be in there somewhere. Come on, man. Chick's bad. Kenny, speaking of Scream, do you think the change to New York is going to be fun or bad? Or like good or bad? Do you think it's going to be hurt it or, do a Jason Takes Manhattan?
I was going to say, they're just following Friday the 13th. Yeah. Still, come on. They're still chasing Jason around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll just give it some different background scenery, I'm sure. And they've got like cell phones and stuff now. And it's staged in like modern right now. Like it, but it is like, so the original movies, the Scream movies, these are all like their kids, right? In it?
No.
Most of them are.
There's a good number of them are. They're all related. We'll say that.
Who was like the little girl that was? If I don't know if anybody's hasn't seen it yet or what, but there was like the girl that wound up being the killer with the other guy. They were like doing like shifts as the Ghostface killer in this last one they made. Are they not like somebody's illegitimate kid?
They were just fans that met on a Reddit page or something. I think that was the plot.
Yep. They're all like in that movie, I believe, right? It would be like 18 to 23, I think is supposed to be kind of like where everybody was at, somewhere right around those age ranges.
Yeah.
Because I clearly.
But they did some stuff. That movie. They did some cool stuff where they made a point to make some of the people, like the other cast, they're like related to past cast people in that universe. Right. That was like the way they did a callback on it.
Kevin Williamson's a smart man. I'll give it to him.
Yeah, love him.
He's been involved for a good portion of it, and that usually doesn't happen when you do the franchise thing. It usually is like, all right, I got my money. Now I have to do no work, and you still have to pay me a lot of money to use my characters. So that is the formula that the smart guys figured out in horror, is selling off your characters and just sitting back and raking in the cash.
Yeah. There's a famous, there's a famous quote from John Carpenter about it. About like, oh yeah, you want to make one of my movies, go for it. I don't give a fuck.
Oh man. So to get off Scream, do you want me to go ahead and start with my another one, I guess?
Well, hold on. So before you transition, Kenny, do you think it's going to be good or bad for the movies going forward that they moved out of the same city that all the other ones are in?
Like, just based on the fact that it's going to be filmed in New York City and not in the made up place in California.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Like
Cool. I mean, it'll probably be a lot busier, like, because haven't they done that already? Because I remember one of the Scream movies had them in a movie, like a big movie theater, and everybody
Scream
dressed
3's
up
in LA. Yeah.
Okay, right. So I mean, they've kind of done that already. It's just probably give it kind of a shot in the arm, some fresh scenery, and it'll be like, I haven't seen the trailer for it. Like, I'm assuming like they'll probably be stabbing people on the subway and something like that.
There is a subway.
Okay, well, cool.
Lights go out, the train stops. Predator 2 already got him. Sorry.
For sure, right. That's what I was about to say. They give him the Predator.
Danny Glover's running around looking for him
all the time.
I would watch that.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. What if Predator was just like, this was in that same day? Predators in New York. They were like, "Oh shit, there's multiple threats."
Dude,
people getting fucking lasered. Oh man, that'd be great. Yeah. Well, apparently, last thing to say about it is apparently there's going to be a very high body count. It's not just going to be the cast. Like, it's going to be a lot of just random casualties. Because New York has a ton of people, so whatever. But from the trailer, it looks pretty reckless. Like, even more reckless than like a typical Ghostface, running through windows and bullshit. But yeah, just out in the open murders. So,
hey, when you get to the 420th installment in the franchise,
yeah,
half America's population has been killed off. You got to do something, right?
You just gotta keep killing people, I guess. All right, now we're off that. What's next?
Well, I'm just playing this game because, but this one's already come out, and it was next on my list, and it was more so to just discuss because it is a 2023 film, and I don't know if you two have seen it. I don't think we've talked about it all, but it's a Kevin Williamson movie. It's Sick. Have you guys seen Sick? That's on Peacock.
No, but I keep getting told to watch it.
Dude, this is a good promo for it. Like, we watched it last week, and it was pretty damn good. It takes place kind of like we did an episode on Host, which was a COVID movie, like a COVID made movie, about being in isolation, and that this film follows the same thing, where two girls go to like an uncle's house to chill out in the middle of nowhere, and basically there's this killer that is just like offing. You see the killer off someone to open the movie, and you're like, what the hell? And then they're going after these two girls, and you don't know why. And I don't want to ruin anything other than that. Other than it is very much based around COVID, being in isolation, and all that comes along with COVID. And Kevin Williamson did a really good job of like taking jabs at different things, keeping it very up to date, and it's pretty good. Like, if you're doing the 5-star thing, I'd give it 4, just because he tied in very relevant stuff and kind of still did his Scream slasher thing. So yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Right.
No one else has seen it.
But it's on Peacock. You can watch it on Peacock right now.
Yeah, watch, dude. For real, it's very much worth it.
Okay, cool. All right, Kenny. What we got?
The one that I look forward to seeing, I guess, in 2023, it's this movie called Enys Man. Y'all seen anything about that?
No.
Like a movie, it's like a British movie that's set in Cornwall, I guess, and some of it is in Cornish. It looks like kind of like a folk horror movie. It's filmed in 16 millimeter.
What?
Makes it look old.
Yeah.
Or just, that's what I could glean from the trailer. And look, the toughest thing about like this has been the one that I've been kind of excited about, but just whenever I do get excited about a movie, like I try to avoid learning anything about it, so you can kind of go in with kind of a blank slate, and you don't get. Yeah, I don't like to read reviews or too much analysis of it, and so that just doesn't make for very good podcasting mode. It's just like, yeah, this movie coming out and it's gonna look like it's old and it looks like these other movies, and I want to see it. And that's but you know what I mean? Like kind of looks like I can't get like Wicker Man 1975 vibes. And there was, I wish I could remember the guy's name that made these movies, but there's this movie called Neither the Sand Nor the Sea that came out, I think, 1972. That yeah, I've got to like preface, like go back to. I can't ever talk about anything modern, but this just like watching the trailer for this movie, like that's what it really made me think of. Like it looks good. I want to see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called in its main in the main.
And so it means Stone Island. It's in Cornish.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
The title of it is. I mean, it's going to be in English. Like it's not going to be like you need to go to the bell court and sit there and read subtitles, which I'm fine with. Like if a movie's good, it's good. It's my fault because I can't speak another language. But yeah, Enys Man. It's spelled like Enys Man.
Like INN.
Yeah.
Like that?
Like that backwards.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But
love that you just went Cornish. next to the movie. You're like, that's the note.
Because I don't want to like fucking goof it up and say the wrong place in England, but just keep.
That's cool.
Keep my train of thought now that I've been exposed.
Well, as I say, it made me think of like when you say it was like folklore, folk horror stuff. Shudder has like this documentary. It's called Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched, where they like it's like this whole documentary on like it's just specific to Europe, I guess, and the history behind folklore horror, like in the early like I guess like 60s, 70s, and 80s. It's really sick. Yeah,
dude, I love that kind of shit.
Yep. They've been like posting tons of like uploading tons of those kind of films now because so many people like freaked out over that documentary, and it got its own like live channel now, which is really sick. So I wonder if Shudder's gonna get that.
I might finally have to get Shudder.
Yeah,
right.
So you said it's coming out. It's gonna come out in regular theaters, or more probably like a limited release for like the Belcourt. I'm guessing, right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. So you'll probably be able to watch it on Shudder. My thoughts are if it's a new horror movie that's going to be shown at the Belcourt within a month, it's on Shudder. So that's pretty sick.
All right. So recap top 3 so far, or 3 so far. Scream 6. What was the one you said?
Sick. SICK. Yeah. It's already out. So a lot of people probably have seen it, or they just need to see it.
And then, Kenny, can you text me the name of that, like how it's spelled? Just whenever.
Of course.
Yeah. Because I think I'm gonna try to do something with the 10 once we're done. Okay. All right. Cool. So I don't have a pick, obviously. So, Kenny, you done with your Cornish movie?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. All right, Natty Light, hit me with number 4.
So I know, I mean, we always say it. We're gonna shoehorn in one of the 3 guys, right?
Got to, right?
Yeah, King, Romero, or John Carpenter. Obviously, 2 of those guys aren't making movies again anytime soon for reasons, and one of them just everybody's trying to tear every page out of every book he has, and bleed him for all the knowledge and greatness that he's put onto pages. But I have 2 of Stephen King's movies that are supposed to be coming out this year on here. But the first one I'll mention, Kenny, I may be stealing a movie from you, but The Boogeyman is supposed to be coming out this year. Yeah, Stephen King, like I think a short story. I don't know enough about it, and that's why I was hoping to like have Kenny you speak to it and just bring it up.
It's part of a collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Boogeyman was I think that it was in Night Shift. It was a
Yep.
short story.
Yep.
And they've made that fucking movie twice already.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They made it
Yeah.
in the 80s, and there was one that came out in the 2000s.
I bet the 80s one's better than the 2000s one because 2000s ain't giving a shit for nothing half the time. So,
Okay.
you know,
I can kind of I know I've read the short story a lot more, and I've seen either one of the movies. I remember watching the movie when I was kind of young, and it being frightening. But I mean,
yeah.
So who's do you have any idea who's making this one, or is it?
I kind of stayed away from it just because I saw like as soon as it said a new Stephen King adaptation, I was like, oh, and I watched like I think 10 seconds of something someone shared, and I was like, I'm shutting that down. I want to just go see it. Because with Stephen King, you oftentimes, unless it's been like It or Carrie, and you're pretty sure, like, to be honest, if you get the right director attached to it, it's like that most of them will be watchable, but oftentimes if you just get no-name people, it's like, oh, I shouldn't have bothered. So I just removed myself from it and was like, the name alone was like, oh, I got to see that.
Yeah. So, the short story was really just based off of like fears of being a new parent.
Mm.
And it's kind of messed up. And there was a lot of, I don't know, I haven't read a whole lot of stuff from Stephen King here lately, but like in his earlier books, like all the characters were really like unfiltered. I'll put it that way. Like he's like the dad in it is going through therapy and says some pretty wild shit in it that wouldn't be like okay today. So I doubt that any of that will be in the new movie. It'll probably be pretty sanitized. And I mean, it's just but anyway, yeah. I mean, the short story was pretty good. Some wild shit gets said in it, and they're doing a lot of. I'm assuming that you said remakes. You're going to bring up the Salem's Lot one too.
Oh, dude, I just can't wait. I mean, if we just want to go ahead, I'm sure that was on your list. We can. It was.
It was.
No. Okay, see you guys. I gotta go.
Look at all that fucking beer behind you.
I know.
Oh yeah,
it's so impressive.
I thought we were doing this whole thing today, and then Kenny doesn't even have a beer, so I know. Disclaimer or whatever. That's actually just for my wedding, just so everybody out there knows that's watching this. I don't drink that much beer. That's just you to show up and drink.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, just a Super Bowl party. All right, so Boogeyman. I saw Stephen King. I think he maybe tweeted about it or something. He said it was good. So
yeah, it has a well-known cast: Chris Messina, Sophie Thatcher, and there's his name is David Das. I can't ever say his name. He was in The Dark Knight, and he's been in a bunch in Dune, in the Suicide Squad. He's like a huge horror like host stuff within the horror community, but he's even in it. So like I'm pretty sure it'll be done probably the best it will have been done. Because you said 2 other times, this might be the best like recreation of it. I would assume, especially if Stephen King. I mean, he's put his name on a lot of stuff. I saw it; it was great. But I was also doing a whole lot of cocaine when I watched it, so who cares?
He was doing a lot of cocaine. We wrote it, like certainly, but So, and you're still talking about Boogeyman, or we're talking about Salem's Lot now?
No,
we can switch to Salem's Lot.
Yeah,
because you could have, and everything would have applied to it. Like they've already made this movie a couple of times, and there's so many people involved in and it's going to be. And Stephen King said it was good. And like, okay, sure.
So apparently Salem's Lot, the new one, has been like they've been filming or have already finished filming for a while, and they kept wanting to like tease stuff and drop stuff, and they haven't. There's been just like a few random images on Instagram up until the last time I checked, which has been a few months since I actually looked to see if anybody's posted stuff. Mm-hmm. But they've kept it very much under wraps. Everybody's freaking out over what Barlow is going to look like, which I'm like, fingers crossed. He is that like very terrifying bald. He doesn't have to be blue, but like bald, the old classic middle teeth, like very different than what we've become acquainted with vampires. I want him to be a creature. If he's not, I'm not going to be that upset, but I'm really hoping for it. because Salem's Lot messed me up when I was a little kid. Really bad. It really messed me up.
Yeah, like, dude, it's Texas Chainsaw Vampire. Like, it's
for real. Yeah, exactly.
That noise, it's like unnerving. You really didn't want that thing getting a hold of you.
Yep.
Arlo.
I think this one should be really good because the guy Gary Dauberman, I think is his name. I don't know how to say the guy's last name, but he was part of it, the 2-part movie series they did recently, and he did the Annabelle series, which the first one was great. I kind of stopped after that, but if someone has that kind of stuff under their belt, I'm gonna at least give them more of a shot than just the random dude that just wrapped up Days of Our Lives last week for a TV series, trying to jump into Salem's Lot. So
yeah.
No. And he immediately just eye roll like, oh god.
Okay.
I mean, that's how it's gone, right?
You got to get you start somewhere. I mean, George Romero was doing he did his first shit that he did was Mr. Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you got to start somewhere. Maybe getting a fresh set of eyes on something's a good thing. But I don't know. Like I didn't put the Salem's Lot or Boogeyman. I didn't put. It's just like I've got like at the bottom of my list, which I only like picked out like a couple of movies, but just they're doing a lot of remakes and a lot of sequels and a lot of just like kind of branches off of stories. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. Yeah. I mean, I only have one film. I think. Yeah. I mean, I guess because we're gonna get to Renfield at some point, but like that's still like something that's pretty much been done, right? Like it's a film to a degree that's been made before in various fashions. So.
Yeah. I mean, Renfield's been a character.
Yeah.
Probably, especially in the Francis Ford Coppola. Bram Stoker's Dracula, and that was like 90 or 91, right?
Yep.
92 maybe.
Yeah, it's old.
They had Tom Waits playing Renfield in that one, and he had, I mean, not like a huge part, but I mean, you saw a fair bit of him in that movie. But this is going to be Nicolas Cage just like being a vampire freak, and it's going to be like played up for laughs, right? Is that because everything like it's in like really crazy looking light, and I haven't really seen a whole lot of it. Like I don't think I've watched the trailer. I've seen stills from it, just like kind of thumbing through.
I've seen some behind the scene shit, probably not legally, but definitely some NDAs were broken. But it looks, from what I've seen, it looks pretty fun. Like I don't think it's gonna be. It's not going to be a scary movie, but it's going to be fun.
No, could be. Bloody Disgusting talked about like the person that wrote the article, like the same person has been updating their whole like story along the way with like their insider stuff. And like, well, it's Nicolas Cage. It's got to be just like stupid funny. And then you finally get to see the trailer and it's like, I mean, it's definitely funny. And they're like playing some games, but it looks like there's going to be so much blood.
Oh, there is. There is. Okay, confirmed. Confirmed.
Like,
there's a ton of blood. It's over the top. Like, and when I mean it's not gonna be scary, I mean it's like, I guess I mean if you're scared of that kind of shit, but I mean it's like not your typical. It's not like scary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
the two vampire movies in 2023 are going to be Salem's Lot and Renfield that we know of. Salem's Lot is going to try to really scare you. Renfield's going to scare people that are like don't like horror movies but might want to see a Nick Cage movie.
Yeah. And some people don't like gore, but I don't think that that movie doesn't look like it's going to, like, you're not gonna go see a movie like that and then wake up in the middle of the night like sweating thinking about it. It'll be
drowning blood.
He's so
goofy. I mean it looks cool. I know it was a lot of hard work put into it, and it was fucking hot as shit when they did it. So I hope that turns out well, because that's a pain in the ass to do.
Yeah, when the first images surfaced, people thought, because there wasn't a name attached to it, it was like new Nick Cage movie, And there's an image where you can't see if he has vampire teeth. But like, oh, holy shit, are they making him the new Joker? Because he's wearing like that purple.
Yeah, the cloak thing. Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, he'll be the best Joker of all time. Like, sorry, Jack Nicholson, he's gonna take you out. Because could you imagine that guy? Like, it'd be so dumb, but so good.
It'd be ridiculous. Like, I feel like he's one of those dudes that like you meet and you're like, oh, you've never had a normal life. Like, you're not a normal person.
Nope.
But
Con Air changes you, man. You make Con Air and everything's different after that.
Of course. I mean, that's the rule, right?
I forget.
One Con Air and you're over.
Didn't he marry Lisa Marie Presley, or am I like
that?
They definitely, I think, if they may have been married.
Yeah, I think he got married to like a teenager or some shit afterwards, though.
I tried to know stuff going in, but I definitely didn't check in on Nicolas Cage's
his marital status. I mean,
he's kind of a creep, honestly.
Oh my God.
There was another Dracula movie coming out. I think it's called The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Do you know about that one?
I saw something about that when I literally searched movies of 2023, but I didn't look into that. So
yeah, it's just like when they took in the original Dracula movie, when they take him from Transylvania to Carfax Abbey, when they take him to London, it's about like the fate of the people on the boat that take him over there, because like the boat shows up and nobody's alive on it.
What? See, I like
that was supposed to be like the thing, because whenever they because that's how Dracula wound up in London, was he had to take they had chartered a boat, and then when the boat showed up, everybody aboard had vanished.
Damn. Yeah. That's gonna be sick. I'm looking forward to that one now. Is there a trailer or anything for it yet, or is it just kind of like they left it alone?
Again, I don't know much of anything about it, and you got a phone.
Yeah.
So
what's this called?
Right now, Voyager of the Last Voyager of the Demeter.
I think it's called The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah,
I might be making a mess of that. I don't know.
No, that's it. It just says 2023. It does have that David Dust. How do you say that guy's last name? I feel so bad that I can't say his last name. Look, you guys see that? Dude. Oh, it's.
Oh. Are we all right? So are we putting that on the list? Are we putting that on the list?
Right? That's one of your movies.
I mean, yeah, that's it. Pick that one up.
All right, Kenny.
I just know it's like a lot of Dracula.
Oh, dude, the guy that made that. Did you guys ever see that dude? One of that dude's first films, Troll Hunter.
No, it has a cool background. I remember seeing like the cover art. But
he did that film. I have to see this movie now. Andre Orveridel. Sure. I'm not sure. He might be. Might be from Sweden or something like that.
Sounds Swiss.
Definitely that movie, guys. Yeah. My brother Jameson just kept saying, you need to watch this, you need to watch this. And so as like a little tangent, if you want to throw one out there for people to watch, that's like an older film, but attached to this idea of the 2023 films. Not a lot of people have seen Troll Hunter, and it's about this person that follows around a guy that says he hunts trolls and just documents it, and then shit gets real crazy. Okay. And so as a precursor to what he's doing in 2023, that one is definitely one worth watching. I've got to see this film now, so I'm all in. Kenny might have the winner of all of them. Now that I saw that, I have to see this. So
you're welcome.
Yeah, Kenny wins. Kenny's already won.
Okay, so if we're counting that, we have 7. Natty Light, you're next.
We're just gonna pick 10 from both of us, or is it just like
like 5 and 5 basically?
Oh, okay, man. So I only actually wrote down 8.
Okay, we'll do some honorable mentions.
So let's see. We've already kind of mentioned those. I think. Well, I guess it technically only have 3 left then, anyways.
Okay.
I know because we need to shout out to our friends at Danger Zone with the next one, anyways, because I know Jesse freaked when he saw that Winnie the Pooh is going to be a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Dude, the trailer for this looks absurd. It might be absolutely terrible, but also really, really good because of that. So if you even have ever muttered the words, I think I like horror films, I think you have to see it, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to watch it. I'm going to make Kenny watch it. Maybe we do our first ever live episode of Anyone Can Die. We did a watch along with as a practice thing for me and him, and we watched whatever that Axe movie was. Maybe we do an actual live episode where we just the commentary of us watching Winnie the Pooh as the,
was it the edge of the Axe, the Spanish horror movie? That just nothing fucking happens in that movie at all.
It was us chomping on popcorn next to a microphone for like an hour and a half.
God, did we record that?
Yes, I've got the
Dude, there must be some really boring shit because nothing at all. It's just like we could have made more competent like horror film, like following like my stepkids around on Lake Barkley. Like there'd be like crazier shit that happens. I mean, it's really
for sure.
It's so fucking boring.
But yeah,
like,
I don't think Winnie the Pooh will be though. I think Winnie the Pooh will be very entertaining.
No, people want to see cartoon characters like in a lot of blood and just they want it to be like ridiculous and absurd. And
did you see the for it?
Huh?
Did you see the trailer for it yet?
No.
please go watch it after this.
There are no cartoon stuff anywhere, and the reason I'm like it's probably going to be good. That whoever made this, I've read nothing about the people that made it, but whoever sat down and wrote it probably was scared to death because all of us have something from our childhood that was like supposed to be warm and fuzzy, but for some reason for us was absolutely terrifying. And for this guy in his childhood, this person in their childhood was scared to death of Winnie the Pooh. And they were like, someone's going to give me money and I'm going to make a movie to say, see, this is terrifying and make you be terrified as well. Like that's how I'm wrapping my mind around it anyways.
Okay. I liked Winnie the Pooh when I was a little kid. And that's like maybe like the sticking point. Just like I don't want to see that, man. Like kind of like a finicky, like contrary dick about it because everybody's losing their shit about it. And I'm just like, oh, Winnie the Pooh, I don't want to see that because he's now like it's because he's been around long enough that it's fallen into like public domain.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And it just seems just kind of crass to me. I don't know, like Mr. Refined Palate fucking loves horror movies, whatever. But it's like, oh man, how y'all gonna do Pooh like that? Now that it just seems like kind of misusing him. I don't like it.
All right. Well, with that in mind, like being in the public domain now, what do you think? Because this is obviously gonna make so much money. Like they're gonna make so much more money than what this movie was made with. What do we think is the next random ass property they take from the public domain that is like about to come up or whatever?
Night of the Living Dead.
You think so?
No, that shit's been on public domain. Been on public domain.
It's probably gonna be something ridiculous though. Like keep in mind, I mean, this is Winnie the Pooh. There's probably gonna be like Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Like,
oh, Disney. No, that's not public domain. There's no way anybody's touching that.
I think that might be not a copywritten story. I think it's like a folklore that they stole.
It is, and I'm sure that it'd probably just be like the likeness or whatever. But I don't have a whole lot of idea how. I think it's like 100 years or something. But I have no idea like of what anything from say even like the last 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
But much less 100 that would really like capture the public moviegoers' imagination that much. That would just. But other than Winnie the Pooh, just because it's had a lot of longevity. It's kind of been a stalwart in so many people's childhoods. But I have no idea. I mean, like what they're gonna have fucking Peter Rabbit killing people. I mean, it's
probably.
It's like and I wouldn't put them past it just because that's what we people want absurd and people want to go to the movies and have a good time. And so, I mean, if that does it for you, that's fine. It's just not something that I think I want to watch, really.
It does it for you.
No.
Warning.
I was going to say it would play very well as a short story or a short film, I think. Like, if you did do that, I would be down to sit and watch a 30-minute short film, but obviously this is going to have a runtime of minimum an hour and a half, and I think it's really tough to get past maybe 40 minutes with this kind of story. That's just me, but I'm gonna see what they do. I'm open to just see it, even though I'm with you, Kenny, at the same time of like, I didn't really need that, but someone really wanted to do it, so let's see it.
Here's my pitch for a Snow White and Seven Dwarfs horror movie. Think about Ready or Not, but the dwarves are the one hunting Snow White.
Oh, that would work. Have you seen Ready or Not?
Somebody take it and make it.
Ready or Not is about this girl with Samara Weaving, right?
Yeah.
She is going to be married into this family, and there's a game they play. Basically, she gets hunted. And so the whole family's hunting her.
The idea is she can join the family if she makes it through the night.
Yeah. So, I mean, that could work with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. God.
With dwarves.
Yeah.
And
they all die in like crazy ways,
There's a touchy subject in there of if people would be okay with that film being made because you're doing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know that would get made for that one reason in today's society. Just like to put it out there, that's honesty. I'm not trying to like make a joke or anything. Like seriously, like that might not get made for that one reason.
Yeah.
But it would, that idea behind it of this girl being hunted by these people that were like trying to take care of her in the classic story.
Yeah.
That could be an entertaining like way of going about it if you're going to make it a horror movie.
Yeah, I think it's the only. That's what I'm saying though. I think whatever's next after this Winnie the Pooh movie, it's gonna be some like tired idea somebody's already done, but with some like property everybody knows.
Yeah, I wish I could think quicker to have some like another take, but
like the Winnie the Pooh thing, it looks like it's just from the trailer, it just looks like a monster movie. Like you went to a cabin it's a cabin in the woods, but there's one, the Winnie the Pooh people are the monsters.
Yeah.
What is that? Is it like Mad Honey? Do you know what I'm talking about? That shit that'll have you like if you eat some of the honey, it makes you. I think that it like gives people hallucinations. Like it just makes you like really sick and you go like crazy.
That might
be what happens.
They haven't really much other than he's chasing them around, so maybe that's it.
So they're gonna go with like Rabbit Pooh.
Oh, dude, it looks ridiculous. You need to watch the trailer.
I mean, I'm sure that it's ridiculous, and I'll watch it.
Okay, cool. All right.
So
wait,
Well,
what?
I was to say, does Kenny give one, or was like because you technically brought that one up? Where do we go from here?
No, you brought the Winnie the Pooh one up.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. So Kenny, you're next.
Okay, another one that I don't know much of anything about. I've seen like advertisements for it, but I haven't watched the trailer for it. Is the Infinity Pool movie? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, it looks gnarly.
Yeah.
On second, I tried to go see it 3 nights in a row, and I was like, I just don't need that right now in my life. It looks. Someone said it is a piss-soaked fever dream. Was a quote that someone posted it, and when I read that, and literally an hour later, Fonseca was like, "Let's go see it," and I was like, "Nah, man, I can't have that." I just watched Pearl like a week ago.
Okay,
that was enough for me for a minute.
Okay, yeah, I still got to see X and Pearl.
Oh, you've seen either?
I know. Actually, I went. It's random. I don't know why I haven't seen them. I mean, I just haven't sat down and watched them really.
And you haven't seen either, assuming that Kenny has not seen them.
Yeah, I'm assuming Kenny hasn't seen or heard of them, maybe.
Okay.
X and Pearl. You've seen
them? I haven't gotten to see Pearl yet. I know that Mia Goth's in this Infinity Pool, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mia Goth is like the main person.
Well, yeah, but she's just really become kind of the darling of horror movies right now. Like it's
rightfully so. She's really, really good. And so I say all that about Infinity Pool. Like I'll eventually watch it. Just where I was at when Fonseca was trying to get me to go see it, I was like, I just don't need that right now, but I do want to see it. I couldn't do Pearl and Infinity Pool that close, knowing that is a lot of like mind game stuff happening, and it's just like I'm good. But it looks ridiculous.
Yeah, that's Brandon Cronenberg.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that it's Dave. I mean, obviously once you hear his name, but I didn't realize that David Cronenberg's son was making. He's got a few films out already. Did you?
Oh, really?
Did you watch Possessor?
No, I gotta look it.
And I think there's a movie called, I forget what the other one was called, but
Antiviral.
there you go. I was about to say like vaccination or something. I'm an idiot, but
Love that.
Man, I got to see those now. I'm gonna try to knock those two things out and then go watch that. Maybe that's how I'll build up to actually going to see it.
Nice.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know when we go watch it.
Okay, I'm down. Pat, you down?
For Infinity Pool?
Yeah.
Piss soaked.
Come on, man. A piss
Hangout.
soaked fever dream.
I'll toss a coin on
Come
it.
on.
I'll toss a coin on it. Depends on when you guys go.
We're gonna work with your schedule. You tell us. I'm very free. So.
That's how we're gonna do. We got to drink a bunch of beer beforehand, and like sitting throughout the movie, like nobody can get up and use the bathroom. So it's gonna be truly piss soaked.
Oh Jesus!
A piss soaked public inebriation charge.
Yeah, we'll go. Yeah.
Just stop the podcast dead as trash.
I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, yeah, we would go to jail for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any of that.
Not going to jail. Okay.
If I have to go to the bathroom, I'm going to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. I was like, Kenny, we'll go to jail together, Kenny. That's okay.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna tell you the 9 that we got so far. Nathaniel, you're gonna hit us with the 10, and then we're gonna do some what's it called? Honorable mention.
Oh, the fucking remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. So we got
let's just rattle off all the shit they're making again.
Yeah. Oh.
We got Renfield, Scream 6, Sick, the Enys Man, that one that you said, Kenny.
Enys Man. So it's like you're from Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah. Boogeyman, Salem's Lot. Boogeyman. No, I'm not gonna do the whole list. But Salem's Lot, Winnie the Pooh, Infinity Pool, and the last voyage of the Demeter. What do we got for 10?
Oh man, I've got 2 left, anyways. And you have none left, Kenny. That's all of yours already.
I've just got a bunch of shit written down at the bottom of this list that, like I said, it's just a bunch of fucking movies that they're making over again.
Okay.
Like they're making another Insidious movie.
Another what?
Insidious movie.
I did have that as an honorable mention on mine.
Okay.
But if I have 2 left that like I'm definitely going to see.
I bet you I can pick out the one that you're number 10. I bet you I can pick it out.
You say it then. I bet you got it. At least
it's fucking Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead. What is it? Yeah. Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll keep the other one because we might go on about the second one for a bit anyways. But Evil Dead Rise, like I'm pretty interested in it. I know I've had a lot of conversations with like some friends that through Instagram that like, you know, they make a living off making horror merch. And we've talked the guys that do Toxic Coffin, which is a good shout out to them. Those dudes skate. They're really awesome. They disc golf. They're just rad dudes that also love everything horror. So I fall in line with their belief system.
Okay.
But I was chatting with one of them about like how we both really wanted to see it. And when we were chatting, I had not watched any kind of preview. And then Fonseca, of course, burst in the skate shop one day and like shoved a screen in my face and said, "Watch it now." But at that point, I hadn't seen it, and it was all about like, are the Deadites, which from right now, it seems like there's one, which is the mother in the movie is like a Deadite being possessed, and making sure that like, you know, they kind of stuck to the idea of what that was going to be like. And it's supposed to be like this whole new thing. And it's only, you know, it's taken a new turn. Sam Raimi is like, I guess, okayed it, right? But he hasn't written or directed it. He's just kind of like hanging out in the shadows, like, don't fuck this up, is probably what he's saying. But then when I watched the trailer, it's like, it's in it's in an Airbnb cabin rather than a shitty old what cabins used to be, what your idea of a cabin was post or pre 2023 is what Bruce Campbell went to. Now you get the 2023 Airbnb cabin that has like home in cursive wood cut.
The glamping version.
Glamping, right.
So it's happening in that, and it's like, dude, this is gonna be gnarly. I'm like, I got to give it a chance because like kids are having to fight their mother, and you're like, that is usually a no-no. You don't have kids being killed on screen, one, and two, like really being the focal point of being chased around for an entire film. So it's like I got to see how they think they're going to get away with this. So yeah, that was one of the last ones I had listed. I really, I'd love to see Bruce Campbell show up last second and save the day, but we're probably not getting that.
Probably not. That there's a, if you haven't watched the trailer yet, there's a clip with a cheese grater, and bro, your boy's stomach almost flipped when I saw that shit. Like, dude, oh my god.
It's definitely going to be, it'll be one of those films, probably one of the only films in 2023 that can actually scare you at least a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be creepy as fuck too. Like, for real. Like, the trailer looks, like, as far as like Evil Dead stuff goes, like, it's top notch scary, like, looking.
Yeah.
As far as the trailer is. But
so yeah, that was one of the last two. Okay. I don't know if we want to go to just some honorable mentions, because I have one more, of course, to mention regardless. So
okay, all right, we'll just make that one an extra credit. And then we'll do honorable mentions, because this one sounds like you actually want to talk about it,
right? Because it's a very touchy subject for me. For now, two reasons. It was only a touchy subject prior to 2022. And then David Gordon Green had to go and fuck my world up by creating Halloween Ends. That son of a bitch just really ruined. I had so much faith in this man. He gave us Halloween 2018, and it was good. Like, he did a really good job. And then I stuck with him for Halloween Kills. There's a bridge movie. We didn't, the episode we did with you was me defending that film. He was telling us, and even John Carpenter was still on board at that point, of like, trust the process. We have a plan. We gave him an extra year with 2020 to figure it out. And then he fucking meat grinds up Michael Myers, and John Carpenter distanced himself. If you hear any interviews recently, one in like, I don't know what magazine it was, but he basically is just like, I just make money off the films now. Meaning he did not like how they finished off Michael Myers. And before that movie even comes out, what do? They give David Gordon Green The Exorcist.
Oh, did they?
If there's one of those films you don't touch in horror, you just leave it be, for not only reasons of it being like that terrified pretty much anybody that ever watched it, but it also had all of its struggles in production. It had like real life crazy horror stuff going on with it. Just leave that alone. We don't need anybody to mess with it, right?
Yeah. David
Gordon Green gives us The Exorcist in 2023, and I'm terrified for a different reason. I'm scared like that he's going to ruin it, But also, go ahead and ruin it, right? Go ahead and let him ruin it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, nothing's sacred. They're going to just keep remaking these movies over and over again. Whatever.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, there's hope, because he did so well with Halloween that it's like, okay, I need to leave it alone, that like he just couldn't finish an arc. But if you give him a way to give you just a piece of what you loved, he can do that right. So I'm going to give it, because all in all, he still gave us Eastbound and Down, and he was part of Righteous Gemstones. Like, the guy kind of knows how to, if he can somehow make me watch The Exorcist and I'm still terrified enough to where he drops a little bit of Righteous Gemstones and Eastbound and Down in there for me, I'll take that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm terrified for different reasons, but also kind of excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, what's crazy? It's just because you brought it up, I'm gonna talk about it. It's crazy that they went as long as they did, and then they're like now making a new season of Eastbound and Down. Like, it's gonna come out this year.
They're making a new one?
Yeah, there's already a trailer out. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, you guys, it was like 5 years ago you guys were doing that thing.
Technically, that's a horror. Can we put that on the list? Eastbound and Down 2023. That's a horror in the reality. And like, if that dude's life was a reality, that is true horror.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's more of like watching a train wreck. And going down a deep dark hole on YouTube, watching some fucked up shit.
Yeah. But that's I don't know if that's number 10 or the honorable mention, but The Exorcist, just because, I know, Kenny, I've mentioned it almost every episode. That I saw that movie when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and my brother had like was playing a joke on me, basically trying to tell me the movie wasn't going to be what was happening, unfolding before my eyes. And so I kept watching, and then you can't move. You're terrified. You know, you're a statue at that point, just watching it happen. So, that's a touchy one for me. Like you saying, like we can't ever do Ghostbusters. I can't ever watch Ghostbusters. That's a close. Exorcist is as close to that for me as I can get.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kenny, what are some honorable mentions?
Oh, dude, like I don't know, like like I said, I know that they're remaking a lot of shit. Like they're making like I said, I think that I brought it up that they're doing another. The fuck, I said it just a little while ago. Just my brain is turning into such a piece of shit. I can't even remember anything. The fuck, I keep wanting to call it Despicable. What the fuck
Insidious. Insidious.
Insidious.
Despicable Me is what you're thinking.
Like the Insidious 5. They're making another Nun movie.
Oh wow.
There's gonna be another one of those.
Insidious wasn't. Those movies haven't been that bad. Like especially the first two.
They haven't been that bad. There's been a couple of them. Like the first one, I think I went to go see it with no, like, it just kind of like I usually do with movies. I go without trying to have too much prior knowledge to it, and I had no expectations of it, whatever. And I think like I snuck like a half pint in with me. And then like I actually kind of enjoyed that one. And there's been a few of them that have been like passable horror. They've been all right.
Yeah.
I think that it's kind of like the tread is kind of running out on them. And I get it mixed up with there's those movies and The Conjuring, right?
It's just a lot of the same people.
It's a lot of the same people, but I kind of like it like just kind of like blurs together a little bit for me, and I can't tell which one. I'm not like really that into that movie series, but there's been a few of I think like Insidious was it again. Now I'm like fucking up because I can't even remember. So like maybe the second Insidious that like I thought was actually.
It was the first two were really good.
Yeah.
What like you're saying, what happened is those two films featured a lot of the same actors and people working on the films.
Right.
And third Conjuring was like absolutely terrible, I think is how it went. Yeah, this is one of those things where you just get lost in all the weeds. And so it really messed up, like it messed up the other franchise being able to move forward because they blew it.
So
that first Conjuring's great.
Yeah.
What happened in the third Conjuring? Like what was
just like you, I have no idea. I just know the first
know that it wasn't very good.
The first 1 and 2 Insidious, amazing. The first Conjuring, amazing. And then after that, things got too tightly woven and they started to do the Annabelle stuff and all of that started to happen. But I guess Annabelle was pretty good. I just know enough about it to talk about it. I haven't really watched the whole thing. So
yeah. I think that isn't the Nun related to those two?
Yeah, it is. So
and that's how we got to talking about it.
Annabelle is attached to The Conjuring. She is in one of the glass cases that that the couple have like captured the spirit, and they go off on that. And that film franchise has like 4 or 5 films, and I think there's maybe a new one. And the Nun is also attached, I think, to Insidious, right?
I think the Nun's from The Conjuring because it's like Ed and Lorraine Warren. And one of those movies, I want to say, was it the third one that the Nun's in?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have to be because I know the first and second one, and I don't think it's any.
Dude, there's so many of those movies, and it's like it's like a real like chore for me to try to remember like any. But like I they were good. The first couple of them were pretty good, and they've been like watchable. Like the last Conjuring movie was like The Devil Made Me Do It or whatever.
That was like, weird.
Just kind of like I was on cruise control through the whole thing. I was just
it hit hard at the beginning, and then it definitely was just like and just down, and you're just like, oh, okay. whatever.
Well, it felt like it was playing more off of like the true crime. I feel like a lot of people really have like appetite for that now. That's kind of like a popular vehicle for this stuff. I think like a lot of people are getting towards where they're like really liking true crime more than maybe like supernatural horror. I don't know. People are always gonna like ghosts, but that one felt more like an episode of like what's one of those shows where they've got like crime, you know what I mean? Like where somebody's been murdered and it's just them voicing over or
Laugh
body.
TV. It's on Laugh TV, channel 5.35 on your digital satellite. That's what that is. It's like
Jesus.
But anyway, that's what that one felt like. It felt a lot more like a fucking Dateline episode.
Yeah. I kind of hope. It seems like they're leaning into that angle for this new Scream movie, like true crime.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope that they do it good. Well, I really hope they do it good because, like, it's gonna come on, man. You know, true crime is kind of. I don't know. I think people are gonna be into it forever. Honestly, people are freaks. You know.
Yeah.
Well, it's. I mean, I'm not that into it, but I think that kind of thing really is interesting whenever it's kind of in your backyard. You know, you just thing that where the scariest thing is the neighbors, and like when somebody's life goes off the rails like that, maybe it makes you feel a little bit better. Maybe it makes you kind of wonder about what's going on next door when that stuff's kind of going on in your periphery. Like it is like it's unsettling.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. We want to hit any more honorable mentions before we get out of here?
I don't. That's pretty much everything I had. Honestly, I mean, I looked at some other stuff that was coming up, and I was just like, you know, we may, if you come back and rewatch this episode mid 2023, and it's like, how did we miss that or whatever? But I'm okay with it at this point. These were the heavy hitters for me that I was at least like, that at least is going to intrigue me enough to read about it or watch a trailer. Everything else, like Kenny said, kind of just want to go in blind for the most part.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'm gonna read the list before we dip. We'll go honorable mentions first. So, and shout out. So shout out Toxic Coffin. You said right?
Oh, they're good people.
Yeah, and our homies at Danger Zone. The honorable mentions are the new Insidious and the new Nun, and kind of we're gonna leave the Exorcist on
those
the list.
Those are definitely movies. I don't know if I'd like to they are movies that are gonna come out in 2023, so then there you go.
Yeah. All right, so we got Renfield, Scream 6, Sick, that movie Kenny said, and Boogeyman, Salem's Lot, Winnie the Pooh. Isn't it has like some kind of weird subtitle?
Blood and Honey, I think is
Blood. That's right. Infinity Pool, Evil Dead Rise, and probably a bad Exorcist.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people that don't like the original Exorcist, so I mean, we'll see. It's all relative. It's filmed.
Yeah.
I wonder who they're going to get to play the kid, or if they already announced it.
I've stayed away. I've left it alone.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go in blind.
All right. Isn't there a so didn't somebody finally get the rights to do another Friday the 13th?
Still working on it because those two guys want as much money as they can get. They know, dude, once you see Friday the 13th, what it did at the box office, and you've waited this long, like there's no way that movie is not going to just make so much money.
Mm-hmm.
Just the horror community alone is going to bring so much money. And oh my God, it's going to be nuts. I think that those movies have taken on such a life of their own that it kind of transcends even like the horror community. There's people that like don't have, because I don't really think that I'm connected to like a horror community. Like a lot of my friends like scary movies, and so I guess that but I don't know. Anyway, but like it's just,
you are.
you see just like lunch ladies and shit with Jason sweaters and stuff. Like it's taking on such a life of its own. Like that people, if they make another one of those movies, it's going to be a fucking smash regardless if it's a piece of shit. Like it doesn't make any difference.
You know what number it is if they make one?
Well, like 17. Oh,
it's
really?
The 13th film. Like that's the thing. Like you can't fuck it up, and that's why there's so much legal stuff going on with it. Both guys know. Like I would honestly probably want to lose that legal battle, because if you really mess it up, your name is now attached as the guy that owns the 13th film, and you're
the guy that dropped a turd and made a ton of money. Yeah, I could live with that. It'd be fine. Like, cool. The guy doesn't ever have to like mow on.
That shit's worth $67 million. Yes.
Yeah, he did it. Y'all can get as mad as you want. Like if they gave you the reins to something like that and you made a piece of shit movie that 1 million people go see, like I wouldn't give a fuck. Like
okay. I only need one thing. I need one thing out of to go see it. Tom Savini is at least going to be responsible for one single practical effect. That's all I need. You need to have him for one of those.
Just one?
Yeah, why not? Like you need to give a little shout out to like those people along the way. Give them a little bit of something. Give Alice Cooper one track on the soundtrack. Give him one man behind the mask. Harry Mancini gives one disco track. Like, come on. All right, it's definitely gonna be a bad movie if you let me have any say so in it. So
it sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, appreciate the top 10, boys. What's coming up for Anyone Can Die? What's the next thing that people should look out for?
We just got to get in the same room again.
Yep. Hey, I'm unemployed now, Kenny, so that's going to be real easy for me. Man.
I still can't believe that shit. Like,
yeah, we don't need to dive on this. The next thing is supposed to be, I don't mind, we've mentioned it. Fargo is what we want to do next. That's like what we've already written notes on it.
Fargo?
Watch it, but that's the plan. Fargo should be the next one.
Okay. Is that the first? I mean, could be the only Coen Brothers movie, right?
Yeah, it might be one of the only ones we probably will ever touch, but
yeah,
so good. And it's technically horror. I'm saying it's technically horror.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody keep an eye out for that. Go ahead and check out Kenny and Nathaniel's feeds and keep in
June.
What?
I said check it out when it comes out in June. So.
All right, we'll look forward to it at least more than the next one. But yeah, so check out Anyone Can Die. Follow all their feeds. Are you guys gonna start doing other stuff that's like now that you're unemployed? Like, I feel like your time just got freed up a lot.
Yeah, we'll probably have more episodes, hopefully, or I don't know. I know that we're trying to work with. I'm going to put Danger Zone video people on blast and ourselves on blast, just for the simple fact that if we say it, and someone watches it, they'll ask us about it. Yeah. We want to be able to do a movie marathon somewhere in Nashville and do a podcast attached to that, and just do a lot of really cool stuff, trying to bring more people together. So, I mean, we do get Spooky Ghoul Fest, which is definitely not ours, but all of us love to be a part of.
Okay.
I think it needs to be more horror stuff in Nashville. There's not enough of it on varying levels. And that one is, second to second to the horror convention and tattoo convention that happens. So we could definitely be like a 4th or 5th tier.
Aim high.
We're trying to lock ourselves to that 5th tier horror event in Nashville,
All right, cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh man. Come by for
like we're not even aiming for the
horror basement.
Just try to eat popcorn and yell at the screen with everybody. It's gonna be a fun time.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna try and make something like that happen, but for sure.
When you guys do, I'll tell you about this in a minute.
Okay.
Anyways, for Quick Sixer, it's been your boy, Bad Artist, Nathaniel Covington, Kenny Bond. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Check out all these movies. What were you saying? Sorry.
Or don't.
Yeah. I said thank you for having us. They're all gonna be good.
Thank you so much for making us do this, Pat.
Yeah. I mean, it's like wrangling cats with you two fucks. So So,
we figured it out.
yeah. But anyways, yeah, go and check out. I'm gonna listen to the Fargo episode when you guys eventually do it next year. So look forward to that 2024. Yeah, it's your boy. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
See you.